more coffee here. All right, I gotta make this one really freaking quick today. Um, uh, no big surprise, I think. Like I said, we started seeing weakness. SPY saw weakness in the Qs. I mean, it's been pretty bad. Like since, yeah, I mean, honestly, since we chopped through about a week ago. So let's take a look here. What else we got to look at? So let's look at the SPY right away, and then we'll go to the Qs. So we're looking for it to come in, maybe test this support. But we got a nice clean line coming off the top. Now, when you get this several days or several contacts, but over the course of a couple weeks, that typically means that this is legitimate, right? So like this is one thing where you have like a few days in a row, but it runs into an uptrend and then it pops back up. Typically a good sign, but in this case, she got squeezed and then she could not get above, and then so essentially you had this uptrend ray putting a lid on it, right? So that was the lid for a few days, and then she ran into the downtrend from the high. So the combination really knocked her down through. I know there's all this, oh, the rate cuts and the minutes and the blah, blah, blah. And yes, we know that that's what could be the reason why there's volume, right? Why there's a lot of activity going on there. But where and when and how, it's kind of essentially how it, I shouldn't say when exactly, but the parameters of the move were already pre-designated, right? Could have been, if it was good, would have popped up. Yeah, that's the thing. It could have been a positive reaction, but in general, not great. But it's not done. This, I think, between this morning and the rebound, if she can get back up, even to test the top of this uptrend ray as the new lid on her, that's actually pretty good, because I think if she can stay in this range and then, 1 or 2 days of, you're probably going to need to finish out this week holding above. She can't really bleed down below, but if she can stay in this kind of no man's land for a little bit, and then as she comes into this downtrend ray, she has one day where she comes down and bounces, but it might be hitting this uptrend, but as long as that stays above this, like, looks like 511 and change, yeah, as long as she stays above 511, for the remainder of this week and into about probably halfway through next week, I think we'll be all right. Because then maybe this uptrend ray is enough to give you some support. The question is, does it have double from coming from the bottom up here? It's hard to determine right now. So let's take a look at the XBI real quick. Does she have anything going? I mean, this seems to be. See, is that right there? See it? Boom, boom, boom. That's coming from this low. Shut up. Where's this one from? Ha! Look at that. Look at that. I just put this one in. Look. Boop, boop, boop. Double contact. So if she hangs out here, we're good. And she's got a bunch going here. She's got this one. That's one there. This is probably another. We'll see. Nice long wicks or shadows here, so looks like we're moving at the open. Looks pretty good. Anybody here I want to talk about? What's AstraZeneca doing today? AstraZeneca, what are you doing? Okay. Oh man, I forgot that. Yeah. All right. That was a miss. I apologize. I didn't get that one in time. Just grind these out. Catalyst. Looking good. Hello. Okay, there we go. Yep, she broke out. Had a moment of indecision, but I think she might have. Yeah. Keep an eye on AQST. Really just has to get above 465. Still above our buy target, so I'm gonna make those adjustments soon. Though I have to realize that I don't think we're ever gonna really probably come back down to like 2. Maybe we come down to 3 after a sell off after approval or something like that. But I mean, this is, you got these guys saying now it's $10 a share. $9 a share. The big thing about Questive, and it's losing it now, but back when we were looking at it like around $1.50, which going from $1.50 up to what, 6 something, now it's different. But the story back here, which I've been pounding the table on, which is, hey, this only needs their what's it, Anafilm, right? Which is I just put that up into I've just posted that the recent Questive article. An epinephrine rescue film does not need to be an absolute blockbuster drug. It doesn't have to reach $1 billion a share for this company to see a dramatic improvement in their fundamental valuation. Like the company was worth a couple hundred million in terms of market cap. So all you got to do is give me 100 mil, 200 mil in terms of revenue is the absolute peak for Anafilm, and it's basically worth it. That's not including all the other, partnership and licensing revenue and royalties and anything else these guys can come up with. Because let me tell you what, if they keep pushing this and they keep figuring out ways to use that farm film, this is going to probably look like a really great buyout candidate, because there's probably somebody else thinking, I wonder if we could use this, and that on that oral film. Is there other drugs that might be better off? People that are better off to have a quick reaction, like things that are like, I need to get this dosed, I need to get this dosed now. Or think about all the pediatric. Oh, I should have put this in there. I'm such an idiot. I might even update this. So think about all the kids that should not be swallowing pills. Instead of giving them pharmaceuticals by pills, think about the oral film. Mom or dad comes in, sticks it in their mouth. It's going to be absorbed. And even if it's swallowed and they swallow, they can put it in the mouth, they don't keep it in the spot for where it's supposed to. Even if it's swallowed, it's good enough. Right? Elderly. Take all the people who have Parkinson's. That's the neurological. That's why they've been focusing on that, which is some of those people can't swallow. Can't swallow. So you guys were this is it. The clinical side of this is all you just need to say is that, hey, if you don't want people jabbing, right? Because here's the thing. No one's carrying around 4 or 5 like EpiPens with them, right? And not that the person that's trying to rescue you needs 4 or 5 EpiPens to get it right. But if you got one and it misfires, or the person doesn't do it in the right spot, or they inject their own self, stuff. This happens. It is actually a pretty high rate for those things not working, like an EpiPen, I shouldn't say EpiPen exactly, but an auto injector being the usage of it, because sometimes you are relying upon somebody else just to step in and help you out. It's surprising how much people freak out. They can't do it, but yet, you know, you have that farm film. They just have to open it up and put it in their mouth. Now, here's the problem. My biggest problem about the whole situation is just, I think everybody says, "Oh, the person's going into shock. Do they have an EpiPen?" And everybody basically knows what the EpiPen's going to look like. It is a massive thing in a purse or a truck or a glove box. Like, there's a massive thing there. People know about it. And, like, you don't misplace it, which is actually kind of a good thing in many ways. It can be a pain in the butt to carry around, but when it needs to be used, it's not, you don't have to go digging for it. Plus, it's recognizable. Like, it's obviously can't be really, like, what's the word? Misidentified or confused with something else. Whereas farm film, I'm not really sure everybody's going to know what it is. So you're probably, if you really want it to be big, you're probably going to have to actually do some sort of like just general marketing campaign to educate people on what it looks like. Because right now it is just something in like, wrapped up. It just looks like, it could be almost anything. It could be one of those people, those things that will like makeup wipes that people carry around. You have to know what it is to go find it for the person and use it. Now, if you're a mom or a dad carrying it around for a kid, yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect because if it does happen, you're fine. And then the other big thing that's unknown right now is the shelf life. We'll have to figure. It'll be interesting to see how long that sucker stays because, yeah, obviously it's triggered by, liquids, mouth, saliva. So in certain environments where it's a human environment, it's in somebody's bag, water gets spilt on it. How how good's the packaging on that? Because like honestly, if like I think about it, maybe a kid has it in their backpack for sports or something like that, and or just in general, like my kids bring water to school. It's in their backpack, which I doubt that's where you'd want to keep it, but maybe let's just take a teenager or a college student or something like that has to carry it around. It'd probably be, how durable is it, Anyway, so I'll put some names in the chat. It's honestly going to be the same things because I think we're looking at a day of digestion after yesterday's move. We haven't got enough big movements to really step in on anything. It's not it's I hate to say it's kind of like the market's not in a holding pattern, but we need to be. Because see, I mean, like, look at that. Just got rejected right now. Let's just take it easy. We've booked some profits. We've added to some undervalued things that are showing some strength. That might be the next rotation that moves us a little bit higher. But anything that's in that no man's land where it's not super cheap and it's not hitting a sell target, just hold on. We have all those tickers, and sometimes we're only looking at like 5 to 10 of them to really, really take advantage of them because there's a reason technically and fundamentally staring at them. But the vast majority of the tickers are usually just completely out of play because the industry, the sector, or the index that they're involved in is just not in play. It's just not the right time. Or they're fundamentally in a dead space where, it might be a decent spot to grab them. Valuation-wise, might have a good technical setup, but we're looking for it to be making the move and starting to separate from its peers. And if there's no big catalyst on the horizon, we can't, anticipate that. So, I mean, yeah, you can get involved if you really like a ticker and you can add to it in small spots where you feel like it's a good, technically and fundamental, good valuation for it, good risk reward. Yeah, it's not bad. But where you want to keep putting that money really in play is when you have a lot of things going on the right side, right? You got good technical setup, the sector's looking good, the industry, the index, everything's looking solid, and there is something on the calendar for that ticker or for that company to really help it separate it out and get a big move, and you can book the profits and then either go to house money or wait for the next sell target. You know what I mean? So anyway, We don't see any of those right now, so we're waiting. There's not. I shouldn't say that. There's not too many. Like a Questive, I'm looking to sell this even more. I'm not looking to add right now. Cirrus, maybe. This would be one that we might consider. It's getting to a crazy fundamental valuation right now. That I keep saying fundamental valuation. It's too cheap. It's getting to be too cheap. Is that one? I think that might be one right there. So she's sitting on one. There obviously might be one a little bit lower. So maybe Cirrus might be a good idea right now. I mean, this angle of attack from here is steep. Very steep. So we'll have to wait. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you got any tickers you want me to look at. Again, once I'll put some list in the watch list in the chat again, just to remind you what we're looking at. I'm not in a rush again.